So what's coming up next?
Yes, the next one we have is, of course, the new announced class, Demon Hunter. The crowd went absolutely crazy when you even just started mentioning it, and they lost it completely when you started describing it. Now, can you maybe quickly explain the Demon Hunter class to everyone who hasn't been fortunate enough to watch it already?
Wow, that's crazy. Who would do that?
I know, right?
So the Demon Hunter class is one that, you know, we considered introducing it in the Burning Crusade. It would have been appropriate there too, but at the time we weren't really comfortable with adding a new class to the game. But the Demon Hunter class has a lot of history, both in the earlier Warcraft games like Warcraft 3, through the Illidan character, through the Illidari and the Burning Crusade. So we really felt like it was super appropriate for this expansion. They're high mobility, agile class that dashes around the battlefield, doing a lot of damage.
What's the process of designing a new class, especially one with so much anticipation like the Demon Hunter?
Right. Well, really, what we start with is the fantasy of it. And so we look at all the inspirations for that class. In this case, it was the Warcraft 3 game with the Demon Hunter and Illidan there, Heroes of the Storm. They've got Illidan, the Illidari, how they kind of look, the whole style of everything. We tried to think of, you know, what is the core fantasy of that class, and then identify class mechanics that would really go with that well. And once we do that, we try to prototype them very quickly, and then we go through a process of iterating on them, shaving out the ideas that aren't working, introducing new ideas until we feel like we have a really good package.
Okay. I do have one follow-up too. Now that we have 12 classes here, or we will have 12 classes in the expansion, will we get a 12 character slot so that way we can have one of each class on a single realm?
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
good.
Easy.
Good.
Yes.
So that way we don't have anything
Yes.
left out. Good, I like that. Straightforward
Got
answers.
you covered.
Good. Thank you so much. I'm very happy about that one, since I have a few characters too many. Now, of course, if you're looking at the class exactly.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Clearly.
really good at that. No, so the Demon Hunter has been introduced as one of the classes with a melee DPS as well as a tank spec.
Right.
Very much like the Monk and the Death Knight. How different is it from those two other classes? And do those two have to fear for their raid slots now of some sort? Or
No, I don't think they'll have to fear for their raid spot. Certainly, the Demon Hunter is very different from the Death Knight, because the Death Knight is a heavily armored, slow, very deliberate, and has a very different style to it. I would say that you could say that the Demon Hunter is more similar to the Monk, except that the Monk is a little bit more, I guess, what we would call hybridized. They do use a lot of mobility, but they also use it to kind of escape and heal up, do stuff like that. Whereas that's really not the Demon Hunter kit as far as the type of healing sort of magic type of stuff. So the Demon Hunter is really all about being in your face, very aggressive, doing a lot of damage, trying to avoid damage where possible using evasion, things like that, damage mitigation types of abilities. And so it really has a different flavor, and we're going to make sure that they all feel very distinctly. And then as far as raid spots go, fortunately, we have the advantage these days of having the scaling raid sizes,
True.
right? So when a person gets added to the raid, it doesn't mean anybody loses a spot, which is great. That, and we also kind of feel like a lot of people that play the Demon Hunter are also going to be people that would have been playing melee specs anyways.
Probably,
right?
yes.
So we don't have a reason to believe right now that it'll crowd the box around the boss too much. So we won't have like everybody standing in melee range or something like that.
all right. Well, I can't wait to see 100,000 of Demon Hunters on my server when it comes
You're
out.
pretty much
I mean,
raid with 20 Demon Hunters. Why not?
mean, why not? Yeah, no, that's what happens when new thing came out. I very much remember when we first got to play Paladin in Classic on the Horde side.
Right.
All of a sudden, they were all over the place. There's nothing.
Yeah. Well, if we end up with too many, we're just going to require everybody to have Demon Hunter tattoos to play the class.
I think, that's a
and
solid
then
one.
that'll slim it down.
I saw there's a swimmer in Russia that already is ahead of the game, so we'll be allowed.
Really?
But
Easy.
But yeah, it reminds me of remember when Death Knight came out. I remember screenshots of the 40 Death Knight Alterac Valleys the first week.